Brendan Steinhauser. He's the CEO of Alliance for Secure AI. And the President of the United States and Xi Jinping met last week talking about trade, technology, AI emerging as one of the most urgent national security flashpoints. Brendan, we appreciate you joining us here on the morning show here today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. It's good to be with you.
Glad to have you on. This is something that can be very complicated as far as how the nuts and bolts of it work, but the results of it may not be quite as complicated. Talk to us about how China or Russia might be able to weaponize AI.
Yeah, it's a great question. And in fact, with China, AI and what's called artificial general intelligence, which is kind of aspirational, but these are things that China wants to use to integrate into its military, whether it's drone technology, whether it's decision-making, cybersecurity, cyber attacks. Those are some of the ways that China in particular wants to use AI to build up their military, to make it faster, smarter, and more lethal. And so the United States has to compete with China. We have to make sure that we don't allow them to have our most sophisticated technology. And we can talk more about that, but that's one of the key parts of the recent discussions with Xi Jinping.
Well, part of it is trying to make sure that we keep those chips out of their hands. Taiwan right now, and I guess some in America, are the two largest manufacturers of those chips. And the Chinese obviously trying to steal that technology. Was there a deal made this last week with regard to whether Trump said, okay, you can have a limited number of these things, and doesn't that just open the door for them to be copied and non-copyright, I guess, copyright infringement copying, right?
Yeah, it's a very complicated matter, but I would say that the president has put in his AI action plan, to prevent China from getting the most powerful chips that allow China to beat us in this so-called AI race. But you have a company like NVIDIA, which is now kind of the wealthiest company in the world, and Jensen Huang, the CEO, is determined to get his chips over into China. And so it's called, a lot of people have been saying, look, do what's in the national interest, be a patriot here, be on the side of America and on democracy, not on the side of authoritarianism. And so we've really got to convince Jensen Huang, or there may be some regulatory measures the president may need to look at to have him stop selling chips to China. And then also from the government's perspective to crack down on the chips that are getting smuggled into China from other countries.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Brandon, as we're talking about this, and unfortunately we have maybe about a minute left, but I think the whole thing is that you've got that dichotomy. On one side of it, you've got the national interest, America first, but at the other time, you've got a guy who's like, hey, I've got shareholders to take care of. But I think in the long run is that if you sell out to CCP in China, and eventually they will take over and they will basically destroy your company in order to suck it up whole into what they have.
They will. That's exactly right. And they will basically replicate their authoritarian model around the world using AI technology. And so that's going to be bad for the Chinese people. That's going to be bad for Asia, and it's going to be bad for the United States of America. And we have to put America first. And in this case, NVIDIA is not doing that.
Brendan Steinhauser, the CEO of the Alliance for Secure AI, will have that up in the show notes so you can just click through when you go to the podcast, find out more about what he and his team are doing over there. Brendan, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it. Have a great week, okay?
Thank you, Doug. You too.
All right. Take care. Coming up, we'll talk about programs that are helping veterans thrive. Veterans Month right now in the morning show.